was able to bully her into walking all the way across campus to go get her sling out of her car this afternoon because she fucking forgot it again, and I made her go get it.
Excellent.
And she spent the entire time fucking bitching about it on Discord while she was walking across campus.
Well, there you go. Look at that. She body doubled while she went and got her fucking sling. Anyway, the point of my story was 4 flights of stairs, fucked up knees, so I've got another factor in there that I have to consider. Right? It's not just a matter of task management. Now you're including pain management into this. So the idea of me going down 4 flights of stairs to go and check the fucking laundry is overwhelming. Just the idea that I'm going to have to subject myself through that much pain to get down the stairs, and then if the fucking washer is not done, then I have to sit down there and wait. And we all love to wait.
That absolutely adds another aspect. But so what I do want to say about this is this is a great process to use for tasks that are consistent and common, like chores, right? Do the dishes, wash your clothes, make the bed, things like that, right? Like if these are all things that you do. I mean, some of us do. I don't make my bed every day, but a lot of us do these. We have tasks that we have to do around the house on a regular basis that take time, and you can forget about them, right? But this is not going to work for something like call the doctor or let the dog in, right? Or something like that, because you can't make. I mean, it could work for the dogs, but anyways, things like that. You can't do it for like read your book or something like that, because these ones that come up that you have to accomplish are not going to hit. You're not going to have consistent tags for. These are things that you're going to do consistently over and over again throughout your weeks and months of living, and it can help you remember those. So.
All right, I think tags is the stick that we're beating with the dead gorilla. It's time to move on to planners, calendars, and whiteboards.
Bullet journals.
I'm sorry, did you say get a planner?
Planners do work for some people with ADHD, and I know that we make them the brunt of our jokes all the fucking time, but there are people who planners do assist, bullet journals included.
Bullet journals help. I like bullet journals.
I hear a lot of good about bullet journals, and I will confess that there was a time where, not necessarily a planner per se, but a task list that I did use, right, with your 3 main priorities for the day, and then do a task dump underneath, and then just kind of fit it in where you could. And it was helpful for a while, and then I forgot about it because reasons.
What? Welcome to the server.
So like for me, like the bullet journal type thing, I'm holding up a notebook that I have that I keep next to my desk that I write out little bullets of information that I need to do, right? Yes. Right, cards, receipts, envelopes, whatever flat piece of paper is on my desk becomes a bullet journal.
Motherfucking back of a receipt.
Right, exactly. I have so many receipts.
We've all been there.
But anyways,
reduce, reuse, recycle, motherfuckers.
Yeah, right. Like these work for me because I keep them in a place that they don't move. Right. I have this journal here at my desk, and I can do the task there. If I move this journal away from my desk, it no longer exists. So it has to be a very specific condition. For me, it has to be a very specific condition. It has to be in front of my computer, and it has to be tasks related to my computer, or have me walking back to my computer when it's over.
I said fuck the planet, and I use index cards. I have an index card for each day. There's a task of things that I have to do that are on that fucking index card. I spend most of my time right now at my desk. It stays at my desk. It typically sits in a little holder that my husband made right in front of my fucking computer, so I'll see it most of the time.
Most of the time.
It's not perfect, but there are times where a to-do list will work. Some people do really well with planners, especially planners that incorporate both a calendar and a to-do list in it. And for some people, having a planner that breaks down their day by hour is helpful as well. Even though we might struggle a little bit when it comes down to recognizing the passage of time, through the use of alarms and stuff like that, we can tell when the hour changes and whatnot. So if a traditional planner hasn't worked for you in the past, but you still want to give a planner a try finding one that breaks your day down into hours. Calendars, huge thing. I have a massive calendar on my wall. It wasn't doing much for the last 7 months because it was stuck on January, but I did update it and it did help me last month, and I have once again updated it to help me this month. Every once in a while I fall off the horse and I fucking forget to change my calendar, and then 7 months pass by. But when I do have the calendar and I'm there and I've updated it, it does help.
See, once again, I'm in the middle. I'm in the middle ground because I'm digital. So my entire to-do list is in my notepad on my phone, or I have notepads upon notepads upon notepads on my computer that I will use. But for the most part, all of my stuff goes in my phone. So I'll put them in my calendar. I will make a list in the notepad there.
And see, I've talked about why I don't use my phone for those lists and things like that, because
I don't either.
My phone is a dopamine dispenser, and my brain is trained to seek dopamine from my phone, which means if I'm going in to look for something specific from my phone, odds are very likely that I will wander off and do something that gives me dopamine, and then I'm off track. So, which is why I stick with the paper. I stick with the notepads. I have about probably 30 of these single course college rule notebooks laying around my house.
Yeah, I'm not saying I'm immune.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So.
I'm not bad.
If notebooks, backs of receipts, index cards, and more don't work for you, the handy whiteboard might.
I've got one sitting right behind me there.
I can't point behind me because it's actually in front of me.
Yep.
And I've got one sitting right there to my side as well.
My desk sits in the middle of my room.
Yep, I've got this one here that I've been talking about that I finally put up like a couple of weeks ago. And you see what's on it? See what's on it? Not a fucking thing is on it. There was writing on there. My daughter drew on it, and then my sister showed up and she drew on it, and I just cleared it tonight with the intent in my mind tomorrow of actually putting up the schedule that I'm supposed to put up 2 months ago. Once I get to that step, I'm sure things will be a little better, but it's getting to that step that's thank you for contributing. It's getting to that step that's going to be the problem.
For me, my whiteboards are not used in the same way that I use my index cards. Period. My whiteboards, I have a whiteboard in almost every room, and they are specifically for brain dumps and important information. Across from me, I have a task list. Yes, I have two whiteboards across from me. One has a task list that has all of my daily chores that are required to be done written in permanent marker. Now, the permanent marker needs to be touched up because dry erase does erase permanent marker on a whiteboard, but it's there so that I don't have to constantly rewrite it. But things like make my bed. On Mondays, I do laundry. On Tuesdays, I do bedding, and I clean the bathrooms. That's all listed out for me, including things like taking my meds. The reason it sits there on that whiteboard is because it's directly across from me and I can see it. The other board that's standing right next to it might include important stream information that I have. So right now I have things like our Takedown Live, which will have already happened at this point, but for us, it happens tomorrow, and the charity stream that will have already happened that Patrick and I are doing is coming up for us this Friday. So that information and the stuff that I need to do for that is written down right there. Another shout out to Hey Good, the king of the fucking whiteboard. He does his, if I remember correctly, I'm trying to remember because I don't do it the same way he does it, is he breaks it down so that he has the list of things that he needs to do written down on one side, and the other side is a brain dump. So any random thought, doodle, fucking, you want to draw a dick on your whiteboard, go for it. It would go over there in that little brain dump area. But the tasks and things that you have to do are going to go on to the other side.
Like a dick dump.
It's a dick dump.
And now, like my whiteboards, the whiteboard directly behind me, sitting behind me as we record, is my long-term project whiteboard. So this is, podcast dates, plans for my defunct TikTok channel, things like that.
Dead gorilla walking.
So that's like my long-term board, right? So that is things that I plan out in advance. I've got a lot of information for, so I put them over there. Now, my whiteboard over to the right of me here is my kind of my smaller but weekly board, right? So I have a column that says this week, right? And I fill in, and Katie fills in tasks that I need to do during the week. And then I have two other columns. I have one for today and one for tomorrow, right? And they say today and tomorrow. They don't say specific days. They say today and tomorrow, right? And so I move tasks around as I complete them into the today or tomorrow block, and I erase them from my this week block. So that way I know I'm getting things that I need done for this week done in certain days. So that's how I use my whiteboards to make sure I'm doing things properly.
Well, I'd explain what the idea is for this one. It's going to be putting up specific per day tasks that need to be accomplished every day. It's going to be my stream days, my podcast days, all the other stuff that pertains to like content creation, social media, etc., etc. Now, and what I didn't mention, but I did pull up and showed, was I have a second whiteboard here, and it's just a smaller one. And this one here is just like my brain dump board, right? Or items that I need to buy, right? Just small little things. And that one actually tends to get forgotten because I see there's writing on here that has faded. Whoopsie.
Now, I mentioned that people with ADHD struggle when it comes down to the prioritization of tasks, and this is one thing that I struggle with so fucking hardcore. For me, calling the doctor and making that appointment that I've been putting off for 3 weeks carries the exact same weight as trying to do a load of laundry, which carries the exact same weight as cleaning my bathroom, which carries the exact same weight as putting out the fucking fire that started in my bedroom. It is all the exact same. So for that reason, the last thing that I have on this list to talk about is going to be asking for assistance from somebody else when it comes down to prioritizing your tasks.
Oh, God.
This is a painful one for a lot of people because who the fuck likes to ask for help?
No.
I do. I do in this particular area because I have a group of people that I trust that I can sit down and they can help me, and I know that it's going to be judgment-free. This is also a fantastic thing to do if you struggle with prioritization of tasks that you have to do at work. Because remember that if you live in the United States, and Canada even it's protected.
Yes, it is.
The United States has the Americans with Disabilities Act, though, and ADHD is protected, and you're allowed to request accommodations for your ADHD while at work. One of those accommodations can be having somebody write down a list in a prioritized manner of what you need to accomplish.
And just for reference, for overseas folks as well, the UK is also protected, or ADHD is also protected in the UK as well.
It's funny how all these countries give us this protection, but there's still people who think it's not a real disorder.
You're just lazy.
But,
and that is what we're going. You said something to.
So I was going to say. So like you said, things that are prioritized, I don't prioritize well, right? Like for me right now, and for everybody who knows me taking my meds is the most important thing in the world to me right now, because I was off meds and I had my problems, right? So, do you think I can actually prioritize my meds as very, very important?
Fuck no.
Me personally? No, fucking not a chance in hell. But I have my partner, Amanda, who checks in with me just about every single fucking day and says, have you taken your meds? And that I use, I don't like asking for help, but I didn't ask. She just started doing it because she knew that it was very, very important for me to do this. So she stepped in and is now providing that push to make sure that I do the things that I need to do for the high priority items.
Okay. So asking for help can be tough, but sometimes it is one of the best things that we can end up doing.
Before we move on there, as much as I don't like doing it, I actually have, I don't want to say accountability buddies or anything like that. I don't have anyone specific.
That's what I call them.
Yeah, but I have a handful of people in the Discord that I kind of bounce assistance requests off of. And actually, Schust is probably the biggest one because he will, like Amanda, he will check in unprompted sometimes and make sure that, when we did episode 0 and then episode 1, right? I was non-stop editing for, 3 or 4 days, just about. And he was constantly checking in with me, get up and stretch. How's your water? Things like that. Just simple little things, just unprompted. So, Schust, you're the fucking man. There you go.
You're my asshole, Schust.
And I'll even step in here one more way and say that you say that you you physically cannot bring yourself to ask for help. Well, there's a way to kind of, it's not completely healthy, but it's a way to hack your brain to make yourself ask for help without actually asking for it. And that's kind of like telling yourself, would this person that I respect or care about or love be really disappointed if I didn't do this task. And it's kind of hacking anxiety, right? Because most of us deal with anxiety as well. And it's hard to get there, but if you